think this might be the last video that I do at the Yoga Vibe Studio. This iteration of the Yoga Vibe Studio. As a lot of you know, Jesse and Julie decided not to renew the lease here. And I'm working on sound as well. So I know the sound hasn't been ideal. I'm doing the best I can here, and hopefully starting next week we'll be in an even acoustically better space, although, heartbroken on a lot of levels that we won't be in this particular space. If you are somebody who came to the studio, we're all feeling the loss of it. So have with you something that you can use as a blanket. I have an actual blanket. You've got a blanket at home that's thin, that won't squish down. You can grab it or grab a towel. And then if you have something you can use as a strap, just a long sleeve shirt that's not too stretchy will work fine, or a strap if you have it. And then we're gonna get started today standing. So if you are comfortable starting standing, you're going to come to the back edge of the mat, stand with both feet on the floor. I always offer this and continue to say it in these videos. If standing is not accessible or comfortable for you, you can always keep a chair at the back edge of your mat. And when we come to any sort of resting pose there, you can sit in the chair, you can do the entire practice seated. I have a practice on Facebook that I did a little while ago that has options for using the chair, which you're welcome to look at and use to accommodate here. So I'm going to say standing, and then I'm also going to say you're going to start in the most aligned position that you have in a supportive and comfortable place. So that's not standing. Choose seated or lying down. If you are standing, you're going to press down into all four corners of the feet. So you can start with the big toenail, so that space right underneath your big toe. You'll go out to the outer edge of the heel, into the inner edge of the heel, and then out to the spot on your foot that's like directly underneath your pinky toe. And let the toes relax. Keep grounded into all four corners. You're going to bend a little bit into your knees so you're not hyperextending. Stack the hips over the ankles, low ribs over the hips. Stretch up through the crown of the head, and then you're going to let your shoulders come down away from your ears. Just very gently draw the shoulder blades together. And then you're just going to take a few breaths in and out through the nose here. I'm going to offer as a focal point today the idea of acceptance. This is something that I have definitely mentioned in the last few queer and trans classes that I've taught as maybe part of a larger, slightly different theme. But it is a concept, one of the concepts that I've had the most struggle with myself since coming to yoga. And I find it important to come back to regularly. And I find it important to come back to today for a number of reasons. So I'm going to invite you here to just let in all of your associations with that term. If I say acceptance, what does that mean to you? And then I'll talk to you a little bit about what it means to me. If you've had your eyes closed, you can gently open them. On an inhale, you're going to reach the fingertips up towards overhead. So as high as they can go while keeping your shoulders down away from the ears and staying relatively relaxed in the neck and the face. And then a full exhale to come down. A few more like that, inhaling up, towards up. And if you stay like below 90 degrees out from your sides, you're still moving in the direction of up, and then you're going to move in the direction of down. Take 2 more like that. Notice what's happening, like whatever that means to you, physically in the body, thoughts that are coming up, how you're feeling. What is it to be you right here, moving your arms towards up and then towards down? Next time you're going to inhale and pause with your hands up as far as, again, they comfortably go, while still being able to keep the shoulders soft, shoulder blades on the back. And then invite 5 deep breaths here. You want to come in and out of this, feel free. As you take your 5 deep breaths, again, an invitation to do a physical, emotional, mental scan. What is right now for me? What is in the body? What is in my emotional state? What is in my mental functioning, or just, things that are coming up in my mind? On an exhale, you're going to bring the arms out side to side with your palms up. Bring the pinkies a little bit more towards the ceiling, thumbs towards the floor. Draw the low ribs in as they start to pop out. And then again, you're going to take 5 breaths here. Try to keep the shoulders coming down away from your ears. Come in and out if you need to. And ask yourself, what is right now? What is true? What is true about my body? What is true about my mind? What is true about my emotions? After your 5th exhale, and keep the arms out side to side. Stretch the fingertips out. Inhale up to the crown of the head, and exhale your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Stretch out to the left fingertips. Here, maybe asking yourself, what is true about my body, my mind, or my emotions that only I know for sure is true? If that makes sense, right? Like, that no one else could tell me that I'm misunderstanding or misinterpreting something that's like, I know this to be true because I am in it. It's part of what is happening right now. Sensations, feelings, the things that are in your head. Inhale back to center. Exhale the other direction. Left ear to left shoulder. Stretch the right fingertips out. Inhale back to center. Bring the arms back up towards up. And then exhale, bring the palms together, hands come to heart center. You're going to bend in the knees and slowly fold forward. So bend deeply into the knees. You can widen the feet as much as you need to so that you can keep bending at the hips all the way down. And then you're going to release the hands down. If they don't comfortably reach down to the floor, you're going to widen the feet even more, bend into the knees more. So you could almost even be squatting. As long as your back stays long and your fingertips can reach down. On an inhale, come to halfway lift, stretch out through the crown of the head. On an exhale, fold forward. One more time like that. Inhale, press the fingertips down into the floor, your shins blocked if you have them. Stretch out through the crown of the head, widen the sitting bones. Exhale, fold. On your next inhale, press down into the feet, come all the way up to stand, stretch the fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, bend in the knees, fold forward, fold at the hips, keep the spine long all the way down. On an inhale, come to halfway. On an exhale, you're going to plant the hands. If you're at the back edge of the mat, like I was, you're going to walk the hands forward. If you're at the front end, you can step the feet back. You'll end up in downward facing dog. On an inhale, you're going to come forward to plank position. You can have your knees up or you can have your knees down on the mat. Keep drawing your low belly up towards your backbone. And then exhale, bend in the knees, slowly lower all the way to the mat. Flip the toes. On an inhale, use the muscles along the spine to roll the shoulders up and back. Baby cobra. And then exhale, tuck the toes, draw the belly button up towards the backbone, come to hands and knees. And then up and back to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Checking in with maybe just one thing that is true right now. Maybe even one thing that you know to be true that no one else could know more than you do, that is true about your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotional state. Inhale, look forward towards the hands, start to walk your feet up towards your hands. Press back into the heels. Draw the belly button up towards the backbone to help lift the feet as you move. Again, noticing something that is simply true about the feeling in the back of your legs as you walk. We'll meet up in forward fold. On an inhale, come to halfway. On an exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root into the feet, come up to stand, stretch the fingertips towards up, and then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach out and around and up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing. On your inhale, come forward to plank. Knees can be up or down. On your exhale, slowly lower, bend the elbows back behind. Keep the hips and the shoulders together. So come as quickly down as you need to so your hips and shoulders can land together. Flip the toes, roll the shoulders up and back. For a baby back bend. Exhale, tuck into the toes, lift the hips and the shoulders together. You can come up through hands and knees, or you can come through chaturanga to plank and then back to downward facing. 3 deep breaths. I'm going to move through these sunays 2 more times, and I'm going to invite you to continue to look for something that just is. And then to notice if you have any secondary thoughts or feelings about that. When you notice something, does it lead you to feeling like you need to do something about it, to judging it in some way, which that can be like positive or negative? Again, just noticing if there's a secondary thing that comes up. Inhale, look forward, walk the feet up to the hands again. When you get to your forward fold, widen the feet as much as you need to, bend your knees. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root into the feet, come to stand, fingertips come towards up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach up and around. Exhale, bend into the knees and fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing. Inhale to plank position. Exhale to lower. Inhale to back bend. Exhale, press up and back to downward facing, 3 deep breaths. After your third exhale, look forward. You can take little steps, one or several bigger steps. You can bend the knees and hop the feet forward. We'll meet up again in our forward fold. On an inhale, come to halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root into the feet. Come towards us. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend and fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, keep moving with your breath. Coming forward to plank as you're ready, knees up or down. Exhaling to lower, hips and shoulders together. Inhale to backbone, using the back muscles, or glutes. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift up, and back to downward facing. 3 deep breaths. And let's all take 3 deep breaths in child's pose, knees wide, feet together. You're going to sit the hips back towards your heels. Let the elbows come down to the mat, and then if your forehead doesn't comfortably come down, or if you have to strain your neck to get the forehead down, you can take your towel or your blanket, put it underneath the forehead, and bring the forehead down to rest. Let the forehead press comfortably into your prop or your mat. And just reflecting again on both what is and any secondary responses you might have to naming what is. After your third exhale, move the prop if you have one, walk the fingertips out, lift the hips up and back to downward facing. Press into the fingers, lift up into the hips, and then press down into the heels. You're going to look forward and bring the feet to the hands again. So again, you could take small steps, bigger steps, one big step, jump. We're going to come to halfway lift. Stretch out through the crown of the head, keep the spine really long, and then you're going to start to bend into the knees and sit back into chair pose. So you can bring your hands towards up here. If you are like me and you start to bring your hands up in that, put some strain in the low back, you're going to bring your hands to heart center instead. You want your knees to be over your toes. So you can have your feet close together if you like to have your feet closer together, but then you're going to have your knees closer together, pointing straight out. If you have your feet wider, you want your knees to be as wide as the feet. Draw the belly up and in, and then just keep sitting back like there was like a stool or a chair behind you that you're reaching for. And again, hands overhead or hands at heart center. Take a few breaths here. And now see if you can name something that is, that's maybe a little bit different than our opening Tadasana or Samaze. And if after you name it, there's any secondary thing that comes up with it. One more inhale here, and then exhale, pull forward. Now widen the feet, bend your knees as much as you need to keep a long low back. 3 breaths. So my resistance to the idea of acceptance when I started yoga, and I think it probably continues to be one of my resistances. I'm going to walk your hands around or just towards the outside of the right foot, and press the fingertips down, and then send your hips more towards the left. Is that I was conflating acceptance with lack of action. Right? That acceptance would mean just kind of accepting things as they are. Exhale, walk the hands through center, out around and towards the outside of the left foot, right hip goes to the right. And it took me quite a while to start to see acceptance as just kind of a clarity, if that makes sense. Like, that there are things that we can know beyond maybe some of the problematic ways that we've been taught. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale back to chair. That we exist in the world, we have many internalized biases, we have our own perspective that's different than other people's, but that there are things we can really know as truth, know as part of the reality that we are in. We may need to learn those things from other people and be willing to listen. We may know some of those things from our own experience, our own bodies. But there can be a clarity to seeing, perceiving, feeling, hearing, to use the metaphor, like the water in which we metaphorically as fish swim. Exhale, pull forward. Sigh out through the mouth. Walk the feet out the distance of the mat. Walk the hands around towards the left. Right hip goes to the right. And so part of that clarity, as I say, comes from trusting our own experiences, trusting our guts, trusting that we can think through things. Exhale back to center, out around the outside of the right foot, left hip goes to the left. Some of it comes from the vulnerability and openness to listening to what other people have to say and recognizing that that is true, even if it was not reinforced by what our society tells us. Exhale, hands come back to center. Inhale to halfway. Only one more time. Exhale back to chair. Really draw the lower belly and sit the hips back. Always come in and out of chair while we're here too. But part of that clarity comes from not recognizing something and then immediately trying to change it or get upset about it or compact it or make a judgment about it or remembering this right, to just be able to see the thing. And that's not about not acting on it. It's about the clarity you have to have before you can act on it in a way that's supporting. And also that we need to act all the time. So we have to really be in acceptance all the time. Exhale, fold forward, side through the mouth. Walk the feet. Again, widening you to bend into your knees. The low back be nice and long here. Inhale to halfway. And then you're going to exhale, keep the right hand down, bring the left foot back. You're just going to frame the front foot, get as long a lunge as you can here. So, that would be a split. I take that back. Get a lunge that's long enough that your right knee hopefully can be right over your right ankle, and your left heel can be over your left toes. And if that's not the position you end up in, I invite you to accept that. So that's to be body's going today, to say, here's where my body is, and this is my version of lunge. And then to try to not complicate that too much, right? Not add to it or say, that's because I went running yesterday and that's good, or that's because I've been too lazy, with whatever other story. Just try to be in, this is where I am. This is exactly where I am. Exhale, bring the back knee down. You're going to turn the right toes out to about 2 o'clock. Press into the inner edge of the right foot. And let the right knee come just a little bit away from the right shoulder. So not letting it fall way out. Then you come away from the right shoulder a little bit. And then you're going to lower your torso as much as you need to get some stretch into the right hip. If you are getting way too much already, you can come up onto your fingertips. So again, finding the level, the torso level that's right, that's going to work for you, and practicing saying like, this is where my body is today. That's it. And again, that doesn't mean that you couldn't work from there, right? Like, that's actually going to give you such a better foundation for your practice than if you spent the entire practice berating yourself for not doing yoga for 3 months and having tight hips, right? That's like going to actually detract from that. It also doesn't mean that you're immediately going to change your hips, but it means that you will move through the practice with the knowledge of where you are, and therefore be much more likely to act in a way that is most effective, impactful, appropriate for the you and the world and the situation that you're in. When you're ready, bring the torso back to neutral, so up or down, whatever that is for you. Straighten into the back leg. You're going to step the right foot back to meet the left. You're in downward facing dog. And then you're going to bring the left foot forward. Come into that low lunge on the second side. So you want a hip system side to side and a long enough stance front to back that if you did have the front leg at a right angle, your knee would be over your ankle, heel would be over your toes. And if that's not exactly where you find yourself, then that's not where you find yourself, right? Like yoga is one of those things where I have to constantly be moving back and forth between trying to give alignment cues that I think can be helpful to get people in relation to their bodies, but they sometimes sound like directives, like your body should be like this, but they're really designed to like tap us into what might it feel like to be sort of in alignment or to get into this position. And then whatever position you actually get into is doesn't really matter. Exhale, bring the back knee down, unless you're hurting yourself. So it does, some of the alignment cues are important so that you don't hurt yourself. I'm not saying don't listen to me, but they're not directives. Turn the left toes out to about 10 o'clock. Press into the inner edge of the left foot. You can let the left knee come a little bit away from the left shoulder. And then either bring the torso down or up to get the stretch that you need into your left upper hip. It like reminds me of giving people adjustments. I really like when we are in a physical space with consent and always using consent cards to offer some physical adjustments if people say that they're good with them. But they are like never directives. There's 2 reasons why I would give someone a physical, what's called an adjustment, what's like touch in yoga. And one is sort of for physical directionality, right? So if you're in this position, I say, drop your mid back. When I do that, I'm like, is this my mid back? Like, I can't see it. I don't have as refined a sense of the connection between my brain and the nerves on my back as I do in some other places. Go ahead and come back up when you're ready. Lift the back knee, bring the front foot, step back to downward facing, and then take whatever you want for vinyasa here. You can come forward and lower, you can stay in downward facing dog, child's pose. So one of the reasons I would give a physical adjustment would be for physical directionality, right? Some bodies Take things in best through sound, some through sight, some through touch, with lots of different ways of learning. And so it just offers a different relationality of learning. Inhale, lift the right heel up. Exhale, you're going to bring the right knee up and in towards the chest, squeeze it in. Bring the right foot to the right hand, scooch it up if it doesn't come all the way. Squeeze the feet, inhale, up to crescent lunge. Bend a little bit to the back knee so your low back can stay long. Hands come up towards up, but with soft shoulders. So sort of another learning tool. And then the other is like, because I think it might help you feel better. I think if you're in child's pose, I might give somebody like a spine extension, like a spinal extension, not because they're doing it wrong, but because I think it would feel nice to have somebody manually, lengthen the spine in that pose. But I was never very explicit about that. You're going to exhale left hand forward, right hand back, under a twist. Keep squeezing the feet. The shoulders come down like an ear. Until somebody said, oh, I always do that wrong when I gave them an adjustment, right? And it reminded me that yoga is this combination of like guidance in a certain direction, but that really shouldn't be interpreted as you should be doing things in a certain way, right? Or there's an end goal to the way you should be doing them. If anything, an end goal could just be acceptance for exactly what happens and come back to center. You're going to exhale, straighten the front leg, bring the elbows out side to side, keep squeezing the feet, and then bring the arms back around. If you can do reverse namaste if you want to do it, feel free. Otherwise, you're going to grab opposite forearms or opposite elbows, and then exhale, start to fold forward. Keep squeezing the feet. Notice what is in this pose, what isn't in this pose. And see if you can just accept it first. Right? Accept what it is. And not judge it, not feel too many ways about it. Exhale, release the hands down, come to pyramid pose. If you've got blocks, please use them. Otherwise, you're going to bend as much as you need to into the front leg to keep your low back nice and long. Draw back on your right outer hip. Try to keep the hips even side to side. And then you can still have a judgment like, I want to change this. But not a judgment like, this is so bad or so good. Does that make sense? Like, you can find pain or pleasure or enjoyment, frustration in things. You could want them to be different. You can need them to be different. But saying, like, this is a really good thing or this is a really bad thing can actually keep us from moving towards the action that the acceptance has opened up for us. Exhale, walk the hands around towards the left. I'm going to come to wide-legged forward fold, squeeze the inner edges of the feet, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Deep inhale into the low belly, exhale out through the mouth. The right hand, bring it underneath your face, left hand comes to the sacrum, squeeze the inner edges of the feet, roll the left shoulder over the right. Are your hips out of alignment? Can you tell that from the left hand? If they are, you can squeeze the inner edges of the feet, squeeze the inner thighs to try to bring them back into, to be more level, so they can twist from the mid to upper back. If that doesn't happen all the way, it doesn't happen all the way. And if it didn't happen at first, that's not because you needed to, sit in a whole lot of anything about it. And even if it felt bad, even if it was painful, when you feel the pain, I'm also not saying don't have emotional responses to things. Exhale, come back to center. Right hand comes to the hips, squeeze the inner thigh, roll the shoulder open. But your emotional responses can also be accepted. Right? This makes me feel really horrible. Like, that is something that also needs to be accepted before you can change Or, I should say this, it's a lot easier to work towards the change of that thing if you have accepted it as true. Exhale and find come back to center. Walk the hands around towards the front edge of the mat. Bring the right foot, step the right foot back to meet the left. Take what you want for vinyasa. Inhale, the left heel up. Exhale, bring the left knee up and in, squeeze it in. Left foot goes towards the left hand, scooch it up the rest of the way. Squeeze the feet together and inhale up to crescent on the second side. Bend as much as you need to into the back knee, squeeze the feet. So, like intellectually, I think I've gotten myself more in line with not accepting things can make it very difficult to make the changes that you need to make, right? There's a pushback against what is, and that pushback takes a whole lot of energy that could be spent in making the changes that are needed and leaving the things maybe that you have either less immediate control over, or the things that you just can sit with that are okay. Bring the right hand forward, left hand back, and your twist. Where I find it difficult now, I think, is enacting it, right? Like you can accept something and be like, oh, I get it now. But like accepting acceptance on the level of really always enacting it is still hard. Come back to center. Straighten the left leg. Squeeze the feet. Bring the elbows out side to side, and then hands come around, reverse on the stage. If it's accessible, that's like this, but behind. I can't actually do it. Or grab opposite forearms or elbows, and then switch which arm is on top. Squeeze the feet, start to bend forward. And keep noticing what is here. Anything else that comes up in relation or things that you might resist accepting. Release the clasp, come into pyramid pose. Again, grab the blocks are under your hands if you have them, otherwise bend the front knee until your spine can get long. And then you can work on moving towards straight. Bring the left outer back, lengthen out through the crown of the head. Deep breaths into the back of the left leg. And I've been thinking lately about like the things that I have normalized and therefore accepted when I really don't, when they're really not okay. And I think by normalizing them, I haven't accepted the full truths of them. So the things that are like so painful that my brain has ways around or ways of compartmentalizing is actually on some level a lack of acceptance. It's not a lack of like knowing or acknowledgement. Exhale, walk the hands around towards the right. Feet come to face the side of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze the inner edges of the feet. You're going to exhale and bend into the right knee, stretch into the left inner thigh. And you'll bend as much as you need to get some stretch into the inner thigh hips. So you might be all the way down in Halasana, you might be more like me with a little bend, or you might hardly notice the bend at all. Exhale back to center, bend into the left knee, squeeze the feet. One thing that will be nice about not being in the studio for recording is trains will not be going by, but I also will really miss doing yoga to trains. Exhale, come back through center, inhale to the first side. You're going to keep moving with your breath and a movement that matches what is in your body right now. So you can pause for multiple breaths on one side and then move. You can move back and forth more quickly. You can bring your hands up to heart center and move back and forth if you want. Just keep it moving with your breath and your own sense of alignment to what is in your body right now. So there's this acceptance that really, it's hard for a lot of things in our world which are really, 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 really difficult and painful. And to know them and accept that they're there and then be working towards change is always important. But I think sometimes full acceptance can almost feel like it undoes you to really go all the way into what that is. It's not easy. And then there are, other things that I think, like I have dealt with some of what's most painful and difficult by accepting and then being like, okay, now the rest of it is changed. I have accepted it and now I will work to change it. And then there's some, like, I'm realizing there are some things that, like, I'm just gonna have to keep the way they are. Not the horrible things in the world. Come back to center, pull forward. Walk the hands around towards the front of the mat. Feet come to face forward, step the left foot back. Take what you want for Vinyasa. So I really don't think that, I want to go back to acceptance does not mean that things that are painful and equitable that cause harm need to be accepted, like to stay the way they are. We just need to really accept how bad they are and then change from there. Let's inhale the right heel up, stack the right hip on top of the left, and bend into the right knee, send the right foot a little bit more towards the left. If any of those movements are not comfortable or work well with your body as it is, don't do them. Inhale, bring the right knee up and in, squeeze it in, right foot goes to the right hand, inhale, press it. But there are some things that feel really bad to me that are okay to accept and leave as they are for now. That makes sense. Like, not everything is fixable, and not everything has to be fixed. Squeeze the feet. You're going to look forward towards your right foot, and then bring the left foot up to meet the right and sit back. And bring hands to heart center. Keep sitting the hips back. So, another way to say this is that acknowledging and acting can be very much about my own comfort, sometimes. And there's both a acceptance of the reality of how bad something is, and then really feeling motivated immediately to start working towards changing it without stopping, recognizing or acknowledging how bad it is. All right, you're going to step the left foot back again, stay on the right foot, lift the left, slowly bring it back. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, straighten the front foot, and come back to our pyramid pose for a couple breaths. Draw back on the right outer hip, extend out through the crown of the head. Bring the right hip to the right hand to the right hip, and then rotate the right shoulder a little bit. So there are those kinds of accepting things, and then there are some things that are going to be much slower to change, that maybe are more about things of me, about things that I have internalized or understood about the way that I function in other people's worlds, that needs a different kind of acceptance, a kind of it's okay if it stays this way. Exhale, unwind, walk the hands around through center. again, do a wide-legged forward fold, shake out the head and the neck. Sigh out through the mouth. You're going to bring the palms together. You're going to bring the back of your right hand toward your left foot. I think I'm going to mirror you here, but you know. Do it as you will. You're going to bring it over towards or in front of your foot, and then you're going to bend into your right knee. Take some deep breaths into the right side body. Exhale, come to center. Keep the palms pressed together. You're just going to bring the back of the left hand now towards the right foot. Bend into the left knee. Breathe into the left side body. And now come back to center. Hands come around towards the front of the mat. Step the right foot back. Take what you need for vinyasa. And now the left heel up. If it's comfortable for you, stack the left hip on top of the right. Bend into the left knee. Keep pressing the hands down. Keep the shoulders even side to side. Inhale, bring the left knee up and in. Left foot comes to or towards the left hand. Inhale up the crescent. I think this is it. This is the problem with filming these. There's no one here to tell me if I'm like doing the wrong thing on the second time. Again, we're just gonna be in a place of acceptance, and we're gonna keep going through this practice, and I'll know that at home you can like rewind and fix it to what you want it to be. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Bring the arms down to bring the front foot. Keep drawing the left outer foot back. Keep the right hand down. Left hand comes to left hip. Roll the shoulder open. So that's like a very small version of kind of what I'm talking about. Like I want to fix that. I want to know what I did on the first side. I want to like pause this and go back and not be recorded and on YouTube doing something that doesn't align. But I also want to be like, okay, accepting that. And like that's one of the things, I don't have to change that. That can be a mistake. That like next time I can be like, oh, write down your sequence over there. You think you're gonna remember it. But if you're recording, write it down. Exhale, unwind, bring the hands around through center. Feet wide, forward fold, shake out the head and the neck. It's going to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to walk the hands back behind, so your fingertips point behind you. Press the palms down and use that to deepen your forward fold just a little. Feel free. Heavy neck. Sigh out through the mouth. Exhale, walk the hands back through, around towards the front edge of the mat. Bring the left foot, step the left foot back to meet the right. Take what you want for vinyasa here. Come back to downward facing. Again, taking a minute to notice what is, and to notice any other kinds of things that come up immediately around that. Immediate need for change, immediate need to go somewhere else, and immediate judgment. And like, try not to judge those, and then just come back to what is. And now look forward, you're gonna walk the feet up through the hands, and come down to lying on your back with your knees up, soles of the feet on the floor. You're gonna cross the right thigh all the way over the left. And then you're gonna draw your knees up and in towards your chest. So your feet are kind of like this. And then you're gonna reach down and grab something. So you can grab, you can reach up and grab your thighs if that's the easiest. If you can reach your shins, you can grab your shins. If you can reach your feet, you can reach up for the feet. But you want your sitting bones to go kind of back straight forward, right? So if you grab your feet and your butt comes way up towards the ceiling, then grab something further down. Make sure your head, your upper back can rest. And you're just going to gently squeeze the knees or feet or shins, whatever you have, in a little bit more, and then lengthen the sitting bones out a little bit more. Take some deep breaths into what is in the hips. So I've really found, as I think about it more, that the places I tend to not be able to sit with what is, or like try to change it in a way that's unhelpful, is when it's really not about me, and when it's really not about making change in the world, which is to say it's usually about interpersonal dynamics. I think sometimes as a queer and trans person, my community can feel small enough that I feel like desperate to keep certain connections, or I want other people to see me in a certain way. Exhale, release whatever you have. You're going to keep the legs crossed, bring the left hand to the right knee, and then bring the whole twisted contraption down towards the left. If that's uncomfortable for your knees, you can straighten the bottom leg. Look out over the right hand. And I've been thinking more recently, and far too recently than I should have, that I think I do that sometimes around allyship work as well. So not as a queer and trans person, but in my many, many other dominant identities. Whiteness is most recently, and in general, the one I tend to think about a lot. Inhale the knees up to center. You're going to switch the cross. You bring the right foot down. Bring the left thigh all the way over the right. And then we're going to bring the knees in. Grab whatever you have access to, and then still come comfortably down to the mat. That I might, be focused on needing other people to see me in a certain way rather than actions or changing things about me. And it's a hard line, or it's a hard thing to always have that kind of clarity on, because of course I want to build good relationships with people. That's important. And as an ally, I certainly need to be doing work that is of value to the people I'm being an ally to, right? That's important. But if I find myself pulled back into what feels like a lack of acceptance, and that, again, I can use my experiences, maybe in relationships, possibly in friendships too, but like, again, that feeling of being in a somewhat small community and really not wanting to like lose somebody or have people think a certain way about me, whatever it is, that is a lack of acceptance, right? Like what I am missing in those instances. Go ahead and release the feet. Right hand goes to the left knee, having your twist is maybe a way of saying, I accept that this person sees me in this way, right? And that is because of things that I've done or context or whatever, like a whole bunch of things. And let that be okay, while I also accept, in terms of acknowledging things about the world, things about myself, that maybe are the places where I need to be doing the work. It's gotten very abstract. It's like I'm just going to focus on acceptance. It's a simple theme. But clearly to me it's not. Inhale, the knees back up to center. Exhale, feet down. Bring the soles of the feet down, knees up. You're going to take the base of the palms, bring them to where your thighs meet your torso, and just push gently forward. Like you're trying to lengthen out your low back, lengthen out the hip flexors. Just come back to acceptance is just getting some clarity and being able to, at least for a moment, like step back, look at that thing for really what it is, and then make decisions about how you want to respond or not respond. And ultimately, I really do think that can get us more towards real change. And that your yoga practice can be a place for that. I think that's true, for parent people. I think it's true for a lot of things that happen. Well, I will say that. It's been true for a lot of things that have happened in my life, around my own identity. Accepting something about the way I feel, a reaction that I'm having, and then moving from there. Go ahead and release. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Just for a breath. And then go ahead and get set up for Shavasana. We're going to take a couple minutes of rest. And so straighten the legs out in front, or you can grab any props that you might need or want for under the head, under the hips. So you're down, you're going to take a deep breath into the low belly. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Let yourself sink down to the mat for a few minutes of Shavasana. Start to take some deeper breaths into the low belly, longer breaths out. You're ready, you'll draw the knees up and in towards the chest. Roll to your side. Come up to a comfortable seated position. And sit up on some height. Make sure your hip flexors stay soft, low back long. Bring your hands together at heart center. Just a minute. Remind yourself, and I will also remind myself, that real initial acceptance is very difficult. And even with the kind of clarity that comes from that moment of like, yes, this is the way it is, I think it's still important to ask, like, can I continue to accept this as it is? Like, can I? Not do I want to and feel good, but like, can I? Is it like really okay to do so? Can I change it? Do I have the option of not accepting it the way it is? And if so, what is, given the fullness of my acceptance, what is the best place to use my